It's true that AMR, antimicrobial resistant, is a global public health crisis. Resistant bacteria can cause a lot of people lost their life and also made a high social economic impact. So recently, WHO modified the priority list of resistant bacteria, in which carbapenem-resistant antibacteria is classified as one of the critical group, especially carbapenem-resistant Klebsiella pneumonia, taking a major role in these resistant germs. The prevalence of CRKP in China is around 10%, which came from the data of National Surveillance Network and also our blood bacterial resistant surveillance network. As you know, after our molecular epidemiology investigation, we found the sequence type 11, the ST11, taking the most of the percentage of the CRKP in our country. Furthermore, we have identified 3 distinct colonial morphology during our study. The first one is the mucoid colonias. The second one is non-mucoid colonias. And the third one is the small mucoid colonias. The 3 type of morphology type is total difference in the resistant virulence and also the genetics. For example, the first, the mucoid colonias pose a complex zinc capsule. The capsule is very important for the bacteria's infectivities, then is the virus factor. And also these colonies exhibited a highly drug-resistant phenotype. After that, we carefully examined the colonies. We found these colonies accounted for more than 90% of all isolated from the clinics. And also it's called as hypervirulence carbapenem-resistant Klebsiella pneumonia in clinic. It's also great challenge for the patient safety. And the second type of colonias is no mucoid colonias, which is totally different from the first one. But this colonia is a mutant of the first one. The mutant type is also the capsule molecular basis. That means some genetic genes related to the colonias have some mutate. And these no mucoid colonias taking around 10% of all the isolated in the clinic. And the third one is not a clinical isolates. It's our laboratory isolates. That means we got the third type of colonies that came from the laboratory passage of the bacteria. The third one demonstrated the highly sensitivity, not resistant, highly sensitivity to anti-infective and polymyxin B. After that, we did a deeply investigation of the mechanisms. We found the reason is that some genes, the sigma factor genes, RPON, have some mutation, which caused by the gene insertion and also gene deletions. All this mutation led to the highly resistant of bacteria to anti-infectant and polymyxin B. But up to now, we did not find this type of colonias from clinical isolates. So our study emphasized that resistant bacteria have some continued change trend. That means after getting resistant, the bacteria can get further changes in virulence. And if the bacteria getting the high resistance and high virulence, that may be a great challenge for the patient safety, because general idea, most people think high resistance doesn't matter, because the high resistance just mean bacteria resist to the antibiotics, but most of the health persons cannot be infected by the resistant germs. But with our result, we indicate that the bacteria can get the high resistance and sometimes get high relevance. So it's a problems maybe in the future. And also our study maybe have some new direction for the study of bacteria evolution in resistant and virulence. So I think we should continue to this study and hope to find some cut point for the prevention and treatment of AMRs in the futures. Thank you. Okay, thank you. It's a good question. It's true that, as I told before, resistant bacteria can infect all the people, not only the patient, but the health person also could be infected by the resistant bacteria. For example, the communicate credit infection also being resistant bacteria. But especially resistant bacteria always infected the patient with high risk factors, such as, for example, the old person with diabetes, also the ICU patient, tumor patient, hematological disease patient, and also the patient under surgical procedures. So I think on the one side, AMRs pose the great threat to those patients, significantly increase the morbidity and the mortality of those patients. On the other hand, a resistant poses a huge obstacle to the progress of modern medicine. For example, if the patient receives organ transplantation, tumor chemotherapy, and a large-scale surgery, but infected with resistant bacteria, all the advance in the modern medicine will be failed. That means all the people cannot enjoy the advance of modern medicines. So AMR control is very important, not only for the person of single patient, but also for the whole human beings to enjoy the modern medicine, the healthcare advance. So as you know, bacteria also microorganisms very small, but it's also very smart. That means the resistant bacteria have many kinds of resistant mechanisms to avoid the kill by the antibiotics. Those mechanisms include several aspects. For example, the first one is that bacteria can take some mutation in the antimicrobial agency target, which prevents the drug from binding to the target and make the antibiotic lose their antibacterial effects. The second, bacteria can produce many kinds of enzymes. Those enzymes can hydrolyze or modify antibacterial agency and make the antibacterial structure breaking and render them ineffective. The third one, the bacteria sometimes have special structures in the outer membrane. For example, they have some porine protein and also the active efflux pump. All the special structures can prevent the antibiotic enter the bacterial body, or if the antibiotic enter the bacterial body, could be pumped out. So the concentration in the bacterial body is very low, and the bacteria avoid the bacteria killed by the antibiotics. So we should study the mechanisms of bacterial resistance. It's very important for the control of AMRs, because if we did not know the resistant mechanisms, we cannot decide which measures we should do, and also we could not know how to make new drugs to blockade the resistance. So I think in futures, more and more resistant mechanism study should be conducted, and more resistant mechanisms will be discovered. And also we can find some new target for the new drug development, or also some other treatment measures. As the international levels, AMRs, because AMR is a global public health crisis. So I think AMR's control should have the collaboration between the different countries and different fields. And also the international organizations such as WHO and the United Nations should take the leading role in AMR control. Up to now, the WHO already developing and released global application plan to contain AMRs. And also the WHO issued numerous technical guidelines and established also the global antibiotic resistant surveillance network GLASSES. All these fundamental structures could be measures to provide to each country in the AMR control. And also, to my knowledge, many countries in the world have taken many active actions to control the AMR, such as the National Action Plan, and also the surveillance, infection control, antibiotic stewardship, and also the technology innovation and basic research and so on. All these should be very helpful and also very useful measures to control AMRs. Especially the development of new antibiotics, diagnostic technology, and new vaccines are encouraged and should be a very key issues in the treatment and prevention of resistant bacteria. I think the global cooperation up to now already established, and I think in the futures, all of the different all of the experts from different sectors and also different countries will join hand and join together to provide a guarantee for the AMR control in the world. Thank you. Yeah, new antibiotic and all new therapeutic agents is very important to control and therapeutic resistant infection in clinic. And every doctors hope to have a new antibiotic for the treatment of AMR infection, but unfortunately, the research and the development of new antibiotic agency is so difficult. It could be a very challenging task. One side, we need a lot of accumulation in the fundamental research. And the second, we need a lot of funding. That means we should have a large investment in the new agency development. But during the past years, with the persistent promotion of the WHO and also some countries' efforts in the control of AMR, we can find some new agency already being developed and launched could be used for the treatment of resistant infection clinics. Up to now, we can divide those agencies into three groups. The first one is the modification products of previous antibiotics, which could improve the antibacterial activity and could be used for the treatment of some resistant bacterial infections. For example, the fifth generation cephalosporin, the ceftobiprole, is an example. This agency could be used for the treatment of Staphylococcus aureus resistant to methicillins. It's a super bag because everybody knows MRSA are resistant to all beta-lactams. So before ceftobiprole, no doctors use penicillin, cephalosporin in the treatment of MRSA. But the ceftobiproles have some changing in the molecular, and this agency can bind into the resistant target, the PBB2. So could be have some activity against the MRSA could be used. The first type of the new agency. The second one is some agency could be combination with antibiotics. This agency is it could be considered as a resistant overcome agency. For example, is beta-lactam inhibitors. In the past years, we used beta-lactam inhibitors such as avibatin, tazobactam. This agency could be used only for the eosphere producing bacterial resistant. But the red challenge is the carbapenem resistant. The older beta-lactamase inhibitors could not inhibit carbapenemase. So the pharmaceutical company and the research institute developed new beta-lactam inhibitors, such as avibactams, relibactams. All the inhibitors could be used for the carbapenem-resistant antibacterials, such as Klebsiella pneumonia, and the clinical efficacy is very good. But also, these agents have some problems because all the inhibitors can only inhibit KPC type enzymes, could not inhibit metallo-beta-lactamase. So in the future, maybe we should do some more works in this field. The third type is totally a lower antibiotics, which could be defined as the new agency because this agency have some new antibacterial mechanisms or new antibiotic target, or is a total new compound. Right now, we have only several, such as cephalosporin. This agency is also a cephalosporins, but the mechanisms of antibacterial efficacy is totally different from older cephalosporins. So right now, this agency will already be launched in the United States and Europe, but maybe in the future, in the near future, our country's doctor could use this agency for treatment of resistant bacteria. Yeah, all the new agents is very important in the clinic, which play a very useful role in the containment of resistant bacterial infection. But all this agency did not overcome the problems of induced resistance. That means all this new agency can induce resistant bacteria. Also, the frequency is different. So in the future, we should do much more relevant basic researches to find the new target, new agency, new mechanism to develop new drugs. Those drugs should have a lower resistance induced capability and high efficacy and much more safety, and also is easy access. Maybe we can find this agency in the future. Thank you. Yeah, AMR is not only problems in healthcare system, it's a global crisis. It's a global public health crisis, which involves animal health, environment health, and human health. That means if we take AMR control measures only in healthcare systems, we cannot get the final success. So the medical field, agriculture persons, animal practitioners, and environmental practitioners should join together to take actions to control AMRs. That means why we should use One Health strategies to control AMRs. So right now, at the international levels, WHO, FAO, UNEP, and the WOH already established the quadripartite collaborative mechanisms in the AMR control, and call all the countries should take the same actions in the AMR control. Our country already taken actions for many years in the AMR control, which include the National Action Plan issued, drug resistant surveillance, and also the antimicrobial stewardship, both in healthcare and animals, etc. But most of these actions in our countries was scattered in medical, agriculture, animal, environment, and some other field. So we did not have many collaborations between different sectors. These situations significantly have a negative impact in the control of AMR. So we should join together the experts, the professional practitioners from different sectors, different disciplinaries, and we should join together to counter AMRs. We should cooperation. We should have the exchanging of the information and the achievement in the science and technology researches. But right now, we need a platform for the exchanging and the cooperation. That's the reason why sitting the conference. Our conference was held last year, the first conference in Hangzhou, which was held just in the International One Health Day, November 3rd, 2023. At the first conference, we have more than 60 participants and many experts participants from different areas of the country and also different fields from medical, pharmaceutical, microbiological, and agricultural, environment, public health, and science together discussing resistant control, which include, for example, how to implant resistant cross-scatter resistant surveillance, and how to develop a new agency, developing the new diagnostic technology, and how to implement the One Health strategies in different sectors and so on. Then the first conference should be a very, very extensive communication between different sectors participants, and we have an outstanding achievement. Most of the participants getting very exciting about that, and also our conference have a very high impact in the field. So our second conference will be held in October this year, also in Hangzhou. There will be a fantastic city in our country. There will be, I think, more than 800 participants join the conference. And this time we'll invite the international experts from other country regions to have a presentation about the One Health concept in the control of AMRs. And also the discussing and some dialogues of the AMR control will be held at the same time in the conference. The One Health conference is an annual meeting, and it is expected to become the platform for promoting One Health concept and strategy in AMR containment. And also, we hope it to be a center for the exchange of new concept, new technology, and new achievement. And also, it should be a link for interdisciplinary collaboration across different parties. We hope the country and the regions around the world will actively adopt the One Health strategy in the AMR control, especially fully implement AMR control strategy under the frame of One Health. I'm sure One Health will play a very, very important role in the AMR control in the world. Hope that our conference can do something for the AMR control and also do something for One Health concept in the future. Thank you. I think the media, including journals, magazines, books, is a very, very important platform for disseminating varied ideas and also scientific achievement. And I think OHIR, as a professional platform for the spread of One Health concept, is very, very important in the introduction of AMR control strategies, methods, achievement, etc. I think the publication of the journals is a great value in promoting the implementation of One Health strategy around the world. I think the audience, the readers should be getting very interesting about the One Health journal, OHIR. I'm very fortunately as an editorial board members of the OHIR, and also I'm a practitioner of AMR control. I sincerely hope that the journals can play an active role in AMR control and become a very important platform for interdisciplinary AMR control communication. I will continue to pay attention to the challenging achievement and the cooperation experience of AMR. I suggest that the journal should regularly publish some AMR topic papers, consensus, guidelines, and reviews from important global experts so that the content of the journals can be more diversity and colorful. I will also actively support the work of the journals because I am an editorial board member. So I shall do something such as submitting papers and review manuscripts for the journals. Finally, I wish OHIR continue to progress and become a leader in the field.